Today, I had my friend Carter, another member of this channel, send me a Valorant Vod of his from a recent comp game he played. I was in call for this, so I got to watch it live time. I didn't say much to him, but there was a lot of things he did in this game that were just throwing rounds, even before they even really started, and I wanted to point them out. So this is just going to be, I'm going to try and just do select rounds here and there. I'm going to point out where major issues are made. If you want to see the full VOD, or if you want me to do a more in-depth video, or even more of these, leave a like down below. Comment about anything I got wrong, maybe, because I am only Silver 3, but I do tend to know a lot of these more tactical stuff. But we're going to get into it. So the first thing I want to point out is that in this image right here, there is something wrong. There's at least one thing wrong. And I'm going to give you like a few seconds here to figure it out. If you can't figure it out, I'm going to tell it to you in 3, 2, 1. It's the mini-map. You see, the way his mini-map is right now, it's that it's centered to him. So there's a part of the mini-map that's cut off. If you see mine right now, my mini-map is locked on the whole map. Now, there's a setting you can change this. I believe, yeah, if you go to General, and then you go to Map, you can put Keep Players Centered to Off. Because you have it on, you can see that there's this huge area of the map that, like, I can't see right now. I just can't see it. But when I have it off, I can see the whole map. And this allows me to know what's going on, even if my teammates aren't commenting it. Because if I have it off and something happens showers, I'll have no idea. I have no idea who's around showers. So the time is at 0 right now. So the round's starting, and we don't have anything ready. Like, he's inspecting his classic. He's sitting in bend for some reason. He's sitting in elbow. Like, he's not ready to do anything. His knife isn't ready to gain you to, like, maybe if he was like standing in, if he was maybe ready in hookah to peek out here and throw a knife there, see if anyone's here. But standing here, especially maybe if he had a lineup, it'd be different. But there's nothing going on here. He's just inspecting his knife before the round even begins. And automatically, if he wants to do anything, he's gonna have to spend the time either getting to long to watch long, and by the time he gets here, they're already gonna have this control of this whole space. If he's trying to do something hookah, that's even worse. And if he's just sitting on site, he's just losing all this potential of information that he could be gaining by using a knife anywhere, really, just at the start of the rounds. So let's see how he chooses to go about this. So round starts, and he's and he walks from elbows, like shift walking, up into long, and it takes him 9 seconds. In 9 seconds, from where the barriers go down, you can get. I'll turn on the match timer here so that we can see how long it takes. Ready? So in 9 seconds, in 4 seconds, I'm here. And in 9 seconds, I can already be practically an octagon from all the way back there. There's so much time. Now, obviously, if they're pushing up, they're going to be playing a little bit safer. They're going to be coming out here. When they get to this area, they might jump peek. You might jump peek this to get information, but when they see you're not there, they're going to be taking all the space, and then you're going to be caught right there with guys already pushing you from long. So just simply because he started in elbow right here, he's already lost so much space for the team automatically because he's shift walking, which, by the way, the shift walk here makes no sense. It doesn't matter. The enemies are going to know and hopefully should assume that somebody's going to be here watching this. But they also can't hear you at the start of the round when you're right here. Like, regardless of how good their hearing is, shift walking like this isn't going to do anything to help you. You're just wasting time. Now, in this round, oh, and then the other thing is he threw his knife here. Like, this knife, after 9 seconds, not only did he peek octagon with his knife out, jump throwing it like this, but I don't know what the aim of his knife is. And so now I'm going to take a second to talk about KO knife. If you're on defense here, throwing your knife long, there's not a good shot you can get on it. You're going to start here. If you want to throw it anywhere good, you're going to have to jump peek this and throw it somewhere. Even if you hit fountain, it's not going to do anything because you're jump peeking. You're already going to see who's here. It's much better to start here at the beginning of the round and then throw your knife this way. Because when you throw your knife here, you can get all this area of everybody getting ready to, on their team, getting ready to flood hookah. If you come over to A, you can stand here, even throw your knife against this wall. If they break it, you know there's people here. If they don't break it, you're probably going to catch the people in this area. And you're just going to get so much more info off of that. You could do it showers, would be a lot worse because showers, they start here and they're going to have to walk all the way up here. And by the time you throw it there, you're going to have to wait so long for them to be pushed up into this area. It's just not as useful. But there are two useful spots to use it, and he doesn't use it. So you can throw your knife in this corner, where they're either going to have to peek out and shoot it, and in that time you can peek them, because they're going to be cut off guard. Or you can throw it here where they'll probably shoot it, or they'll have to run out of the range to either here or all the way back here. And they're just much more useful spots than throwing it here. Like, there's no point in using util that's not going to help you. Because there's two ways to use util, which is to gain information, which is what I assume the point of this was, and to use it more offensively. Which in this situation, he's not using it to suppress their abilities. He's going to use it to gain information because it's the beginning of the round. So, and that's just in the first 9 seconds of this round. There's already so many things that have gone wrong. There's misutil. There's just not being in the correct position. There's just not walking up. There's nothing. And all these things culminate together to lose rounds. Now, they don't end up coming B this round. But had they been on B long, he's dead for sure. The next round, we had the same problem of just running elbow for no reason, and then randomly just switching and pressing all of the buttons on our keyboard, expecting on just not ready to play the round. Like, if you look at our map right now, we can't really see where kind of our other, like our Astra is, because she's off the map somewhere over here. This little arrow tells us she's going to be in heaven. That's all we know. We don't really know what she's watching. But what we know is that our Reyna is here, ready to fight Hookah. We know that our Cypher has his util placed short, so he's ready to fight short. Our Omen is also reinforcing that control of short right there. But what are we doing at the start of the round? We have this vision cone. We're controlling this. This isn't helping us at the beginning of the round, because at the beginning of the round, they're not going to spawn in here. What they're going to be spawning in and where they're going to be appearing is here and here on B at least. And this is the area. These areas are what you want to control immediately. Your Reyna is doing a good job of being there to stop the hookah flood. Your Cypher is, and your Omen are here, getting ready to watch short and stop them there. And I'm going to assume, we can't tell because of the map, that since your Astra's heaven, they're going to be either watching short or showers, or also watching over here in short, hoping reinforce all the areas. So you can see how all 4 of the other teammates are doing something, except for us, who at the start of the round are just in this random area over here. What we decided to do at the beginning of the round is honestly even worse than all of this, because we wait here, and after 7 seconds, we just dry walk out and then pick up the orb. No jump peek first, no flash, nothing. Just dry walk out and hope that nobody's going to be looking at us. Because had they been pushed up into this short area, we're going to be dead there. They lost by 2. They're probably going to have, they ecoed last round, so they're probably going to have full loadouts this round against your SMG. So in my mind, if I'm at this angle, I know that at long, they're going to have rifles and they're going to be able to one-tap me here. They're going to be able to one-tap me as I'm walking out. So if I'm going to walk out here with with a Spectre, the worst weapon, I'm going to have to use something to at least give me a chance. This blind is either going to force them to try and dodge it, run away. It's going to be able to maybe get over into this area over here to re-peek them from a different area. Something. But this dry swing out, it's lucky that there's nobody here, because you're gonna get punished the second that there is somebody there. And at the same time, right here, the Sage gets a kill on the Astra. So here's our Astra playing Heaven. Here's what's happened in the last 5 seconds. This Sage is unknown and unaccounted for this entire round. We know that the Sky peaks out here. Astra is sitting in this corner. She goes to re-peek and is immediately killed by Sage. And she even calms out right here.
Oh.
Something completely illegible. Unreadable. It's unknowable. That's their comm. Fuck. That tells us nothing. That comm tells us nothing. Because maybe if you were sitting here and you re-peek this, there's 2 possibilities of where you're getting killed from. There's showers, and then there's back sight. We don't know. We're gonna assume that it's probably showers, right? Because that's where the Sky just was. That's where she just peeked from. She's probably Sage, which is probably lurking there with the Sky, but we don't know. This Astra could have told us, hey, this is where I got killed from. This is where I got killed from, something. But we don't get that information. We don't get to know. And so later in this round, this ends up losing this round. This ends up like making this round so much worse. Because guess what? The Sage is back sight. We don't know that because we didn't get that comm from Astra. But Sage lurked all the way from B, back sight, killed the Astra here, ran back here, and killed them here. We didn't know any of that because of this comm here. And it wouldn't have been the easiest read to get even if we were here. Because she clearly played really slow. Either staying in this area here for a long time, taking a really slow walk, long, whatever it was, she was on B site really late and went really late through here. And we know it's really late because we spent a lot of time earlier in this round on B. We didn't leave B site
anchor B
until and actually right here we say we'll anchor B, immediately leaving after 20 seconds. So in that 20 seconds, somewhere in that time, Sage is over here. And because our Astra didn't come out where she died from here, we don't know that the Sage is back here. The start of this round is baffling to me. So we start all the way back here in this hallway area right here. Then we shift walk with our Vandal out all the way to Pentagon, which there's no reason to because they're not going to be in that space if you just started there or if you're just walking. And then after 13 seconds, we jump and throw our knife here, making ourselves completely vulnerable to anyone who had been pushing up. Now, they were doing some really weird, super slow push this way, or they had been pushing from here. And they destroy that knife, and we do actually manage to get some information off of this. So we pull out our gun, decide to switch to our flash so that we can blind before we peek. Right click, there's the flash. And look, we caught them off guard. Right there is something good. We used our flash, we caught them off guard. We saw 2 here. But then right here, you go back into the same spot, do the same blind, but don't wait till it pops off. And look at right here, ADSing, and where's our gun? It's not here. Our gun should be here, pulled out right now, but it's not. It's still pulling out. And because of that, I don't know how you get this kill here. I'm gonna be real. This kill baffles me. We should have been punished for this because we had 2 people here before a blind even went off, but you do manage to get one. And the weirdest part about that whole thing is you kill the Sage. Because who you should have been killing right there, you had your crosshair on this guy's head, which is because she runs and you keep your crosshair in the same spot, you get that Sage. But now we have no utility. We know that this Sage is here, but we have nothing that's really going to stop her. The only thing we have is our Molly, which maybe if we play back here and we see her come, or we run back into like this area over here, and we see her coming out, we can use the Molly to slow. But retaking this fight, dry swinging there, that's where we get punished. Because this Sky since we've run back, instead of staying in this area after we kill the sage, or even repositioning ourselves into this corner, we just ran back into the same spot for the third time. So now, for the third time, we're in the same spot here, and this Skye knows this. She knows, hey, he's going to be coming out of here. He's done it twice in a row. Let me just hard walk against this wall and aim at it. And so you slow walk out without getting any information first, and you're immediately punished for it. We're right here. We're not ready. Our crosshair is in the complete wrong position to take this fight. It's too low. It's too far to the right. And what happened was, as we moved across this area, as we turned to the right, we start with our crosshair high here. And as we turn, it ended here. So it started up. When it started, it was going to be like right there. But when it ended, it was way down lower. Right now, we're here. But when we were turning originally, we were at head level. So as you turned your mouse, it went like this. You turned your mouse downwards. And because of that, your positioning wasn't ready to take on this Omen. Now, obviously, you're at a gun diff. He has a much better gun than you, than your classic. But had we had better positioning, we could have at least gotten maybe one head tap. And if we had crouched too and thrown off or maybe counter strafed, we could have possibly had a chance to win this fight. Even if we had not dry peeked this too and used this blind that we still have left, we could have had an advantage on this Omen here and potentially won this fight. Here's the leaderboard. We're doing terrible. I have to mute comms here because some of their players just started doxing each other. But here again, we can see that on attack, nobody on our team was really ready for that round to begin. We should be, if we're going to be on A and the round's going to begin, we should have people ready here, here, and here. We can flood through short, try and take advantage of U-Haul, and then this space here to get the bomb down. We can have our shower players go here to take this space and contest Heaven, the person playing Heaven. But at the start of the round here, as the barriers go down, here's 0 seconds. Here's the barriers going down. Our Reyna's ready, but our Astra's just sitting back. Us and our Omen are still running, trying to decide where we're going to go. And then by the time we make a decision, we're slow walking again through here. And there we go. The stage has walled this off after 6 seconds. If we had been here to start, we could have jumped and known that something was going to be here. Maybe there's somebody playing showers. The next thing that we do is, directly in the next round, we throw the exact same knife. So I'm not going to talk about the ADS Guardian walk up. We throw the same exact knife, and this time we know that the Omen is there. And the difference between the Omen being there and the Sage being there is that Omen doesn't have this wall. So there's really only one possibility in my mind of what's going on. And that's that this Omen either uses TP on the top box or he's sitting on this bottom box. But he's going to be in this corner. Either that or I have no idea what this man's trying to... If he's not in this corner watching it, I want to know what's going on in this man's mind. But that's really in my head the only two possibilities that are going on. So we're watching this area. We throw our blind here and don't capitalize off of it. This blind is so useless. And it's something I see a lot in my games, in his games, and everything. You blinded from here back, right? So had this Omen been in here, he's going to run out. But if we're using that blind, why are we not trying to get a kill? We're just using this blind to pick up an orb, which is so not useful. Because if we had just swung that and had he been there, we got a kill, we could have then circled back and picked up that orb, and now we have our ult. Instead, there's just all we know is that there's a smoke here, and that Omen could still potentially be playing on this box. And this is really dangerous for us to run into this smoke. So we pull out another blind here, right click, there's a blind, and we did not immediately check this box, which is a problem. We immediately looked over here to where our other teammates were already clearing. We had no threats and shouldn't be worrying about threats over here when we know that Omen's probably in this corner. And look at where he is. He TP'd into this corner exactly up. Now, because I don't know if it's because of the blind or just bad trigger disc, but he misses every shot and we get the kill. But still, if we're looking at that box originally, that Omen's still full blind and we're getting that kill immediately because we can trust our teammates. And so by turning to the left, it either means you don't trust your teammates where you're not even understanding what your own util is telling you. I'm going to slow it down right here. That's speed up. I'm going to slow it down and watch your positioning as you come out. So you immediately get shot at and panic fire smoke before realizing who you should focus, and you're going to focus the sage. And so she comes out, your crosshair is low, is hitting her chest. And so as you turn to her, you overshoot and miss your shot while still being low before immediately turning back and lowering your crosshair even more instead of adjusting it up. So the way that headshots work in Valorant, or the way that your head is positioned, is that if you aim your crosshair perpendicular to the ground, you will always hit their head. Because of the height that Valorant agents are, and the way that scaling works, is that their head is exactly equivalent to being parallel to the ground. And when you turn this box here, you don't know that. And so your crosshair here isn't perfect. Now, yes, there's a little ramp here, but it's not perpendicular to this ground here. The ground here and your crosshair aren't matching. You can see even by these two lines, they're curving in at each other. So right there, that can tell you I'm not going to be on their head at this stage. Peace out. I'm going to need to adjust and move my crosshair up just a little bit. But we don't know that, and we end up looking down to the bigger target, which is their body, and hitting body shots. And since we hit body shots and not a headshot, we're going to be the ones to die. Now, granted, there's two different people shooting at us at the same time, but if we can focus the stage and just know where her head is, we can immediately just pick her off and then be dealing with one less person fighting us on stage. I want to use this site entry that we use on B site to prove why what you were doing earlier is so useless. So we decide that we're going to come long last second. Isn't helpful, but our Cypher, who's standing at the gate, is going to be useful this round to track what's going to happen. So he's pulling out his knife, and as soon as he gets to the area where he's about to peek, he's pulling out his gun, and he's jumping. He's jumping, or I guess technically here he's jumping kind of tight, but he's still swinging out wide to throw off anybody who might be peeking them. And the Sky isn't using her blinds here, which means that we don't know who's going to be watching long, but it's probably not this guy. But let's see how quickly it took him. It took him 5 seconds to get to that area. Now, what you were doing earlier was taking you 13 seconds just to get here. So we can see that and you yourself are in this area and able to see long in that 5 seconds. So if you know that you can get to long in 5 seconds, and you get to long in 5 seconds on attack, why does it take you 13 to get here to just dry swing this? Because if you dry swing this here, you're dead. And in fact, we find that Gecko's playing Octagon, and now we have 2 people, and this Gecko realizes, hey, I need to back off. I'm not with my team. I'm not playing with anybody. I need to get out of here. But this execution is actually really good because we have a bunch of people flooding long that force their Gecko to back off somewhere into sight and reposition. And now we've won all this space in the amount of time it's taken you in earlier rounds just to even get to Octagon. So imagine you yourself in that earlier round against your own attack. You're dead immediately because by the time I'm just going to use this Omen as you. By the time you're here, they have 3 people sitting in here. You're not winning that fight. It's just not possible. They're all going to be killing you. Maybe if you're lucky, you get 1. But this play here just proves and should prove to yourself why your own original play was bad. But then you do things in this attack that are so good, and this attack and this put on the site are so good for an elo like this low. You throw your molly perfectly here. And what this does is it chokes off if their Gecko was running here. It chokes off anybody who is full sprinting back here or anybody just playing late back in that area. It stops them from getting on the site for a little bit. And now what you really need to focus on is trying to get these 2 dipshits over here, I don't know what they're doing, onto site. Because now you know, hey, we can get a few seconds here to focus here. Maybe we can get Cypher, who looks like he's already going elbow, to come back here and contest this. We can help control Hookah for our team. Now, for some reason, you watch our Molly come down. We shoot the Reyna blind and know that Reyna's going to come out here. Try and use our blind of our own and we're clearing all this space for our teammates. Now, granted, we didn't check this back corner, but nobody really plays in that back corner. But we clear all this area, and we know all this area for our teammates. Our Cypher goes in here, dies to the Gecko, which tells us where he went after he fought his Octagon. So we know that their Gecko's an elbow, their Reyna, who threw their blind, is somebody here, somewhere here. And we know that our team is getting fought because they're not running onto site here. So as to what these two are doing here, I don't know. And because they're spending so long, the rest of their team catches up to them, and we lose bomb. So we started this round off so strong with this attack here. Because our teammates weren't there to support us, we end up losing this round terribly. We barely get the kill on the Gecko. We're not able to do anything, but you did have a good execution this attack. And so I am convinced that you do know how your knife works, because you do things like this in this round, where you're starting out at the wall where you should be, and you're getting ready to throw your knife here. And as soon as the barrier goes down, you throw that knife and you start W keying to take this space. And so this knife is actually amazing, because look at this area that it gets when you throw it here. You get almost all of hookah. You get anyone in this corner really who's going to watch here. You get anyone sitting in this area here. You get a whole lot, even anyone just sitting at this box. You don't get the entirety of it, yes, but it's really good to know if somebody's going to be running out pretty soon to try and shoot you guys long. And so this knife here is a strong use of your knife on B site really early in the game to just tell you where people are. And so we learn that nobody's here. So we pop our ult and we can swing this corner. Now, what I am going to say though, is you don't know what your knife does, because we cleared this whole area a second ago with our knife. So unless somebody in that time, which we were WQing up, so we would have seen them running in this way, had moved into there, which they didn't, we would have are clearing them for just some reason. We throw our molly backside again. We plant the bomb down because we actually have bomb on site this time. Our Cypher is supporting us, and here we have a good execution to get onto site and get the bomb planted really quickly. We get that bomb planted after 18 seconds. Keep in mind, in 17 seconds one round, it took you on defense to get from here to here. So do you see how on defense we're losing rounds before they even start just because of where we're positioning ourselves? And that we're using our own, we're not even thinking about our own attack strategies on how we're playing defense. Which is something that you really need to do, is just know how you're going to play attack on each map, and know how that's going to, know that your enemies are also going to play that same way. If you know something that you can do on attack, play the game like your enemies are going to do that exact same thing. So what I mean by that is, if you know that you have the ability to rush through here and get the bomb planted that quickly, then when you're on defense, I'm going to be thinking, okay, my enemies had that exact same ability, because they're no different than me. They might just have better mechanics, maybe they're thinking better, but if I know that I can contest this whole area in 5 seconds, then I should be on defense saying, hey, I can get to that area before them in less than 5 seconds. Maybe I should contest that. But you're not thinking about these things. You're only thinking about your attacks on attack and only thinking about your defense on defense. You should be thinking about both. So at the end of this round, something really interesting happened.
Oh.
We throw our knife into a kind of a random position, that doesn't really help us. I think hookah. Right there, you hear somebody
Gecko's
catch the
on
bomb.
giant 3.
We see no one's on. We went to swing the bomb person, which isn't horrible in this situation because they could be sticking it.
Ah, I threw.
Oh, 2v3.
We heard somebody get on the bomb again there. And it's kind of hard to hear. But somebody gets back at the
Gecko's on
bomb.
giant 3.
Ah, I threw.
Oh, 2v3.
Here, right there. That was the sound of somebody getting back on the bomb. Now, who could that somebody be? That's Reyna, the person who was just on the bomb.
3.
Our teammates don't listen to this.
One enemy remaining.
We haven't heard the sound of a retap. The time's getting low.
Kill.
Wait.
He's smoking or sticking. But because our Omen threw this dog shit smoke here and ran out to look long for some reason, or short, sorry, we actually lose this round because she's just able to.
Blood.
What?
No way!
This endgame, the way that we played after we got the bomb on site was so poor. You get onto site so well. You convinced me that you had something going by mauling back here, having these areas smoked off, and then playing in good positions. But then you do things like it's not just you, but your team does things like this smoke that just throw the game. And so you lose this game 11-13. And most of the reason is because on defensive rounds, you're just not ready to start the rounds. And on offense, you're not thinking about their defense. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. If you think I got something wrong, or if you think I'm just spitting stuff out of my asshole for no reason, be sure to let me know in the comments. If you want me to review your VODs or something else, tell me that too. Leave a like on this video if you want me to do more of these, review my own games, review more of Firefox's games here. But if you enjoyed, please leave a like down below. It'd help a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you. See you guys in the next one.